Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Let's Address the Stress. We are here. It is Friday, July 24th, 2026. We are here on planet Earth. And in this message today, I want to deliver a message to you guys that feels so very real, so very personal to me. And that is one thought away. A message that I have titled One Thought Away. If thoughts can make us sick, then it has to be true that thoughts can also make us well. And what do I mean by that? I mean the thoughts that you're thinking are creating your reality, not reality itself. I found myself this morning waking up, jumping into the day, and ruminating about a past situation and feelings of doubt and insecurity and am I good enough, and all of this craziness came flooding in at 4 a.m. And I caught myself, but I could see how if I didn't, that would allow me to spiral out for that morning, that afternoon, that day. And how often do we allow our thoughts to carry us away? Our thoughts to carry us away throughout the day, taking us from presence, taking us from joy, taking us from abundance, taking us from all of the beauty that God has in store for us on a day-to-day basis. And so I encourage you to test it for yourself. If you're in a negative space right now, realize that that is part of the journey. That is okay. It's not about condemning yourself or criticizing yourself. It's about asking yourself, is this thought useful? If it is, tap into it. If not, let it go. Furthermore, when you breathe and connect to your breath, you realize that we are so much more than the thoughts that we think. You are so much more than the thoughts that you think. The thoughts that you think are creating your experiential reality, not reality itself. So this morning when I was spiraling out at 4 a.m. laying in bed, and I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that, it was about noticing, catching myself, and choosing to move forward in a different direction. I put something positive in my ears, my headphones. I took a journal out and I wrote how grateful I was for that, for the day. And sometimes I understand when you guys are journaling, you might feel like you're going through the motions. Go through the motions. What's one thing that you can be grateful for today? Write down one thing. This morning, I just wrote, I'm thankful for the day, period. And so if thoughts can make you sick, that means that thoughts can also make you well. Understand the correlation between the thoughts that you're thinking and your experienced reality. Amber, welcome into Let's Address the Stress. Did you have a question today?
Not right now. I just joined to hear you and what's going on with all this. I do deal with stress. I'm a mother, so.
Totally. What is your stress mainly around? Is it finances? Is it the kids? Is it relationship? Is it what are you usually dealing with?
Finances and the kids' scheduling now that school is going to be back in session next month.
Are you excited for school to be back in session?
Well, yeah, but I work at a school, so I'm glad to go. So I'm off for the summer, so I'm glad to go back to work and everybody can continue with their schedules and learn.
Awesome. Okay. And then with finances, will that help being back to work, or are you like strapped like paycheck to paycheck, or what's that situation?
Going back to work, my son moved out, so the way because we're on like housing, so they put him on a lease, which I think they should have never done, and so they added him on there and raised the bills, and now that he moved out over the summer, it's taking them longer to get him off, so all my bills are high for just myself, so it's just a struggle right now.
Control the controllables, Amber. Are you breathing through it? Are you controlling the controllables?
That means
Controlling the controllables. It's an exercise, okay? And the great question. Amber, you're doing it and you're showing up today for your mental health, so I got to give it to you. Way to show up. That is not a sarcastic clap. That is a congratulations for showing up. I'm going to teach you a lesson, and if you're open to it, do you want to hear the exercise of control the controllables? Okay. So in life, there are a lot of things I call it the circle of influence. There are a lot of things in our control, and there are a lot of things out of our control. So if you're with me right now, I want you to, or later, to draw two circles, like an egg, an egg yolk, and then the egg, if you're frying it on a pan, is the bigger outside. So if you're with me right now, there's two circles. There's a circle in the middle, and then there's a circle outside of that circle. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So as you draw this circle, this is called the circle of influence. This is what I call the circle of influence. This is what controlling the controllables is. So you have two circles here. And in the middle central nucleus circle are all of the things that you can control. Amber, what can you control? Do you want me to share what I think you can control, or do you want to share a few things that are in your control right now?
You can share, because I really don't know right now.
Okay. Well, let me remind you, that's what this call is about. Let me remind you the things that are in control, how you feed your body, the foods that you eat. You know what foods give you energy, and you know what foods take your energy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how you fuel your body, what you put into your mouth is your decision. What you drink is your decision. And from that place, you'll have energy, good energy, bad energy. We are all energy. So what we eat, we truly are what we eat. So if we can control what goes into our mouth, that is something that we can control. Okay, so we've got things that we can put into our mouth, things that we're drinking. Another thing that's in your control, who are you listening to? So often in this world, we're listening to what everybody else says. And thank you guys for being here to listen to me. But if you're on social media and you're comparing yourself to other people, or you're listening to CNN, I heard it called constantly negative news. That is feeding your negativity bias, and now you feel even worse. So if we can control what goes into our brain, and we realize that our mind is a broadcasting station and we attract what we put in, wouldn't we want to put positive things in? And way to be here on Let's Address the Stress, because this is a good, I believe, a positive channel. But so many channels out in life are not positive, and so you need to unsubscribe to those and subscribe to the things that give you energy. So you can control what you listen to and who you listen to. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're moving along here. You can control what you can eat. You can control what you're eating. You can control, another thing you can control, and you might not believe it, but I encourage you to test it for yourself, is your attitude. Because guess what? We've all been dealt a hand in life. Suffering, unfortunately and fortunately, is part of the journey. We all go through it. Everybody's fighting a battle that we know nothing about, that I know nothing about. However, what I have found to be true is that your attitude determines your altitude. So depending on where your attitude's at, that's going to determine your attitude. And your attitude determines your gratitude. And your gratitude, well, that determines your happiness. How grateful are you in this moment for the things that you do have, the kids that you do have, the money that you do have, the job that you do have, the house? Are you living in a house right now?
Yeah.
Let's go. The house that you have. Do you have clean water to drink? Okay. Clean water to drink. Are you in a controlled temperature environment like AC and everything?
Yes.
Okay. We got air conditioning. So these are all big, major things that if we're focused on our problems, and I know, Amber, you're not dealing with stress specifically right now. This is for when stress comes up, because stress will come up. I experience it probably anywhere from like 3 to 5 times a day, where I'm either, things are just happening where my stress levels can tend to get a little bit higher. I suffered from mental depression for quite some time, and so that's why I created this channel, to help people with their mindset, because their mindset determines their life set. And so back to the center, the circle of influence, now we're looking at all the things we can control. Okay, so we can control our attitude, we can control our gratitude, the level of our gratitude, we can control what we eat, we can control what we say. Yes, I believe we can control what we say. When you want to talk crap or talk negative, just bite your tongue and realize that complaining is a form of fear. Complaining is a form of ungratefulness. Complaining doesn't do anything, really. I mean, never complain and never explain. Just keep living your life the way that you're living it, with gratitude and an attitude of gratitude, and you watch what happens to you. Watch the way God continues to bless you. I don't know if you're a spiritual person. I believe I am, and I believe that God will give you more when we're grateful for what we have. So now we have the circle of influence. There's a few other things that you can control in this. Now you can control how you spend your money. You can control how you invest your money. Have you ever heard ROI, Amber?
I don't think so.
ROI means return on investment. So whenever you're buying something, whenever you're eating something, whenever you're doing anything, the conversations that you're having, ask yourself, what is the return on my investment with this activity? An example, I come on here to Let's Address the Stress for you guys. The return on investment for me, well, I do this because I freaking care. I mean, I get fulfillment because I feel like the messages like this just aren't said enough in this world that's so negative. So I come on here to help, not from a place of ego, like I'm helping, but a place to encourage and facilitate mental health in a positive way. So that's a ROI. So let's say I go to the gym to train, or you go to the gym to train. That's a return on investment on what? Your health. Because when we invest in our health, now all of a sudden we see a return on that through muscle, through greater energy, through being able to chase our kids around with energy and ease, being able to do the things that we do. That is a return on investment. So before you engage in a conversation, before you engage in the things that you're eating, before you take that sip of whatever it is that might not actually be benefiting your long-term health, ask yourself, what is my return on investment in this activity? That is something that is in your control. So now those are a few things that are in your control. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, so as you draw this thing, Amber, think about these things that are in your control, because we've been taught in society and by our parents that we can't control these things. They say it is the way it is, it's just the way that it is. No, it is as it is. However, how I choose to react to that and the proactive measures that I take forward in my mindset is a choice. I told you this morning, I woke up feeling discouraged, defeated, down, doubt crept in. And I said, no, I'm not going to listen to this channel. I'm going to change the channel. And guess what, Jess? Guess what, Amber? Guess what, everybody else on this call? You can too. Try it for yourself. When you go to sleep at night, there's no problems. Why? Because you're not thinking. All of a sudden you wake up, the thinking mind will take you out of the present moment, and that's when people are entering the day with dread. They're not even grateful for the family that they do have, and it just spirals people out. It takes you out of your blessing. Well, I'm here to tell you that God has an amazing plan for you, and you are blessed. So now that we're looking at what we can control, the controllables in the middle, and we realize and accept, it's the serenity prayer, that there's a lot of things that are out of our control. Death, disease, although I do believe a lot of disease is caused by dis-ease. There's a lot of situations that happen that are out of our control. Let's say a rabid dog comes up and bites me. Well, if I get rabies, then that's pretty much it, unless you have the vaccine for it. So there are a lot of things that are out of our control. And those are extreme things, and I'm not denying that, and I'm not saying that there aren't things that happen out there in the world, because I'm fully aware of it. It's about looking at what you can control, looking at what you can't control, and asking yourself, what is the next right step of action today? What is the next positive thought, or what is the next useful thought that I can think that will help move me forward to be here better for my kids? Because guess what? Nothing can pour from an empty cup. I say give from the overflow. You think of a cup, they say cup half full, cup half empty. Well, it needs to be full, and it needs to be overflowing, because we can only give from a place that we have. So this is why we need to take care of our mental health mamas, because our kids are depending on us. I don't know about you, but when I'm zoned out and clocked out and checked out, I can't be there for them fully. I mean, I can't even be there for myself fully. So it's time that we start controlling the controllables and taking care of what we can with great honor and with great duty. Does that make sense, Amber?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so that's an exercise. Just draw 2 circles. Put arrows into that main circle and ask yourself what you can control. You know what else you can control? The way you give, the way you serve, the way you show up. And a lot of that has to do with your attitude. That's why everything stems from attitude. And guess what? The reason I'm in this call right now is because I realize that mental health is an issue right now. We are in an epidemic of mental health crisis. 80% of people are reporting that they're depressed, stressed, frustrated, lonely. You name the emotion. It's all an underlying message and emotion of fear, and it's very real right now. So knowing that we know that, what can we do? Well, we can control a lot. We can also ask God for help. I don't know about you, but I believe in Jesus Christ. I read my Bible. I believe he put us here for a reason. I believe that we're all given divine strengths and aptitudes and abilities and creativities, and it's our job to show up every day to express those to the best of our ability. That is the circle of influence. That is the circle of influence exercise. And that will help you gain control when you feel out of control, because what you'll realize is that there's so much more in your control than you even realize unless you sit down, get clear, take a deep breath, settle in, and realize how much you do have. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Okay. Was anybody able to take anything from that they want to share, or does anybody have any stress that they would like to address right now together? I see you guys. I see you showing up. I see you being here. I see you listening. I see you. I see you. Keep showing up. Some days it seems dark. Some days it seems like there's no way out. Some days it feels so heavy and you don't even know how you're going to get through the next step. You don't even know how you're going to get through the next step. Count your joys. There's some days when I was depressed, and there's some days that I catch myself now. If I brush my teeth, that's a win. If I cook dinner, that's a win. The dishes might not get done that night, but guess what? I cooked dinner. That's something. Y'all listening here right now, did you all brush your teeth today? Did you all dress yourself today? Did you all tell your kids you love them today? Did you all dress your kid today? Change your kid today? Love your kid today? That's a win. That's a win. That's a win. But we undermine that. We think that we got to climb this huge mountain every single day. If you woke up today and you are doing something, you're winning. And you know what? If you woke up today, you're winning. Just to wake up is a gift. The chances of us being alive is, the fact that we're here is an extreme miracle. The scientists say that it's a 1 in 400 trillion chance that we're even alive right now. So if you can listen to my voice right now, all the way from across the world, man, that's a gift. Harness your power, mamas. Harness your power. It might feel like you're out of control, but I encourage you to examine and slow your mind. Slow your mind. Go into nature. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. And when we're in our head, we're dead. Just notice. Just notice. When you feel yourself spiraling out, just notice. Notice that that's just a thought that you're ruminating on. Change the channel. Different thought, different experienced reality. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's that simple. Take a breath. I talk about stimulus and response. A stimulus is a text message comes in, a thought comes in that's not useful, a call comes in that's not useful. Okay? Information, aka stimulus, trigger, and then there's the response. Most people react. It's easy to react. That's the unconscious patterns from childhood, unexamined beliefs, reactivity that has just been programmed in our system. It's time to rewrite the system. It's time to ask a different question. Instead of reacting, ask yourself, what is this telling me here? What can I learn from this here? Furthermore, is the thought that I'm thinking or the scenario that I'm experiencing even true? Now we're getting clear, and now you can respond. Take some space. Take some space. Take some space. Give yourself grace. Give yourself space. Take it. You deserve that, and you can do that. That's something that's in your control. How you react, your attitude, your gratitude, how you respond. Those are all things in your control. There's so much out of our control. Let's control what we can, and keep encouraging ourselves. Tell yourself this. If this isn't something I would tell to an authentic best friend of mine, am I telling myself that? Or would you encourage yourself like your best friend? Be kind to yourself. So many of us are so mean to ourselves in our mind, and it's insanity. Love yourself. Love yourself. God loves you. I love you. You've got to love you. And you know how I can tell you I love you? Because I love myself and I love God. And we can give from a place that we have, but if we don't love ourselves, how can we love anyone else? That's why when the people flip you off in traffic or they say mean things to you or they comment mean things, that's not you. Everything's a projection and a reflection. So if they're saying something mean or rude or hurtful to you, that is not you. That is not you. That is on them. That is on them. But it's easy to take it personally, mamas. I get it. Someone's mean, somebody says something. Like, gracefully understand that everybody's fighting a battle that we know nothing about, and they're going through something so hurtful and so hard that they have to say something mean to you. And that's okay. But the ego wants to defend it and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this, and who do they think they are? And I'm speaking from experience when I was training at the gym and somebody told me to F off, literally 2 weeks ago. They said F off. This is somebody I knew from college. And I said hi, and they told me to F off. I followed the simple instruction and I F'd off. Somebody tells you to F off, they're telling you, follow the simple instructions and just F off. But the ego wants to just be like, oh my gosh, and do they know who I am, and who do they think they are, and what the, you know what I mean? That's crazy. Now you're completely out of the present moment. Now you're with your kids, but you're not even with your kids. You're like in the past. You're thinking about what they said and how could they and all of this resentment, and now you're tense, and now you got that dis-ease that causes disease. It's just about a noticing. It's about a noticing and returning to what is, which is this present moment beyond thought. Beyond thought. Beyond thought. How's it all going out there, honey? How are you doing? Are you dealing with some stress today? I know you're out here trying to make a difference.
Hi, ladies. Hey, I'm okay. I'm doing great. I'm over here doing dinner and listening to you guys. Today was actually a productive day for me. I got a lot done, and I got laundry done, so I felt like I did a lot.
Good. That's fulfilling, honey. That's amazing. Like, congratulations for that. And earlier on this call, I encourage mamas to give yourself grace, because some days we crush it. And some days we get so much done, and other days, like I said, we just brush our teeth, or the things that we wanted to get done, didn't get done, and that's okay. Flow with it, 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 right? Neutrality, right in the middle. That's where balance is. Not too high, not too low, right there. Centered. That's awesome, honey. Congratulations with that. Keep up that momentum too. I don't know about you, but when I'm in momentum, there's something about just keeping that momentum up. Like, you can't stop a freight train. Like, it's like a physics thing. Like, once you get going, you like keep going. Like, don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Keep going. And then I'll share one last message with you guys. I shared this on my message earlier. And since I started Let's Address the Stress back in March, I created let'saddressthestress.com. It's a free website, and if you're going through a stressor, just drop a stress request on there and I'll address it, because I do go live, and you can be anonymous with it. I go live on YouTube on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Shannon, S-H-A-N-N-O-N, Lynn, L-Y-N-N, Evans, E-V-A-N-S on YouTube. I go live and I answer stress requests. So if you guys are ever stressed and you just want me to read it, sometimes it helps having a different vantage point, because when you're in a problem or a stress, it's so hard to see clearly because you're so in the muck. You're so like it's like you're in the muck, and you can't even see the light. You don't even know what the light is. It's like you're in this huge forest and all you can see is the tree in front of you. So if you are stressed, let's address the stress.com. You can just hit stress request and send me a stress request. I also have a free breathing technique on there to regulate your nervous system when you're stressed out. And then I've got a free mastermind where it's a 20-minute recording on how to navigate stressful situations in life, because life does life, and it's about how we navigate that determines the quality of our life, the presence of our life, and the power of the life that's already within you, and it's about channeling that. But I will close this message with one thing that I talked about on Wednesday, and that was the word impossible. Now, in life, there's two ways we can see things, right? You can be a victim or you can be a victor. You can be in a trial, but you can turn that trial into triumph. You can struggle, but you can realize that that same struggle that you're going through is actually your ultimate strength. You can turn your weakness into greatness. You can set your setbacks, those can be setups. Your challenge, well, that can be change. The pain that you're going through right now, I believe will be your biggest gain. The woe is me that is so easy to get into on a day-to-day basis can be catalyzed and alchemized into the wow is me. That woe can turn into your win. And the impossible, when you look at it with an apostrophe and a space, reads, I'm possible. I apostrophe am possible. I'm possible. And this is your reminder that yes, you are. And yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you are. I see you, mamas. I see you. And that's my message for you all today. Yeah. Does anyone want to chime in with a stress that they have or a takeaway or anything that resonated?
I just want to say thank you for doing this. I will be back for more.
Absolutely, Amber. You're not alone in this. We're all in here in this community to lift each other up in a world full of distraction and noise and things that can drag you down. We're in a community to push forward, to push through, because that determines the quality of our life. We don't have to live the same way we were living yesterday. Today's a new day. This moment's a new moment. Thank you, Amber. Joy, you okay over there? Is there a stress that you would like to address?
I'm okay.
Okay. I love.
This maybe not a stressor, but maybe like not a praise report, but
Okay.
I don't know how to categorize it.
What's going?
What's something that you can do to get yourself out of the house, without being nervous, but not have like any like intentions, you know what I mean? Like just putting yourself out there to be open, meet new people, you know what I mean? Potential partners. Do you have ideas maybe or?
Yeah, Joy, thanks for sharing. Great question. Let me ask you this. What is your hesitation around going outside? Is it an uncomfortability with people? Is it you don't feel confident in your own skin? Is it you don't trust the environments that you're going into? Like, what is the hesitation?
And it's just, I get out, maybe not every day of the moment, but I try to do at least 1-2 fun things a week, maybe one during the week, one during the weekend, but just be able to be more social, put myself out there. I do start to feel like I do have a little social anxiety, but I'm open. I'm in between both. There's a certain level, like today, I went out, I went and helped a friend. She's visually impaired, blind, and I made a promise to her to just take her because I wanted to keep my word and to keep friendships. That's what I mean, like to keep your friendships going, but still have the boundaries and not be used and stuff, but to where you're winning friends and keeping your friends and acquaintances and relationships. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I took her to meet the teacher. Her daughter starts school on Monday, and she has a 3-month-old baby she just had, but I did that instead of just ghosting away, already knowing how she is. She's needing, or very needy, always needs something unless she calls, but I'm just trying to keep my relationships going, like, and make more, but not more than what I can handle. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
also would want a potential partner one day. I have a friend, but he in another state, but I don't know how I count that if he's in another state. You know what I mean? Like, it's just very hard. He's a parent. You know me, this is Jasmine, Miss Shannon. I'm not yet a parent or anything. We've had messages and semi talk, but like, I don't know. I I thought I've heard somebody say, well, you don't really need to keep your options open. Just listening to like a talk like this or a podcast, like it's not good to keep your options open. But to keep your options open, I hope I'm handling that right. But technically, I'm not married. I don't have a ring on my finger, so you should keep your options open, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until the day when you're married, that's when you have no other options except your husband. You know what I mean? As far as in partnership and in that realm and relationships.
Right. Right, Joy. You're doing a phenomenal job. Okay, let me ask you one more question, Joy. Is there anything wrong with what you're doing currently? Or do you just want more of what you're already doing, like interaction?
I guess right now, I'm done with school. I just finished that. I'm looking for a job opportunity in my field that's taking some time.
What
And
is your field?
social work,
Okay.
it seems like it's very hard nowadays. They want you to be licensed, and of course, I'm gonna get that as soon as I can. But it takes time to study, prepare yourself. But I guess when I was just working, that was the reason why I went back to school, because I was bored and I was just working, wasn't doing anything. It was still in healthcare, like long-term care, doing activities with individuals with intellectual disabilities. But like, I like that, and I enjoy working with those type of people. It's never a dull moment. Like, they can make you laugh, they make you cry, but like that's I find interest in that mental health field. So that's why I went back to school, is to keep me busy. Now I'm done. So what can I do after? Because I feel like just working is boring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work, but it's boring to me. Like, just working.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I want to go back to school again.
Yeah.
Not to be a career student, but
Yeah, I'm with you, Joy. Well, first of all, let me. Are you ready for me to address this?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Joy. And you're doing a phenomenal job being on here listening to something that's positive. So, first of all, I want to acknowledge you're doing an amazing job. You're showing up for your friend. That's visually impaired and blind. You're taking her around. You have your friend across the way that you're still in connection with. You're looking for work. You're active in the community. You wanna help people with mental disabilities, and you know that gives you energy. The question that I have for you, Joy, and it sounds like nothing needs to be fixed. You're right on track. I love what you said with keeping your options open and being open to what is. My exercise for you, Joy, and my exercise and Joy's question is relevant to all of us, is to take out a piece of paper and literally write down what fills my cup, ? What fills my cup? Now, there's things that fill your cup, but you also want to keep in mind boundaries. And under that, I want you guys to write boundaries, because it's important to create boundaries in life around things as well, because if we don't have boundaries, then we're coloring outside the lines. And that creativity can create constraints. So when we're out there and we're overpouring and over delivering, and that's where compassion fatigue sets in, and then we don't even know who we are or where we are anymore. Well, I'm here to remind you, mamas, that who you are and where you are, it's never left you. It's right here with you right now. and you're right on path, right on target, doing the things that God has you to do. Why? Because you're doing them. Now, as we look forward, the past, realizing that the past is done and the future hasn't come, all we have is this present moment today. We must ask ourselves, what fills our cup? Now, the studies show that creativity helps the brain. So maybe for you it's drawing, maybe for you it's journaling, maybe for you it's cooking, maybe for you it's writing, maybe for you, or maybe if you're like me, it's walking outside in nature, maybe it's working out or training or moving your body, maybe it's feeding your body with the foods that give you energy, maybe it's going to museums, maybe it's doing a paint and sip class, maybe it's, you know what that is for you, right? So I want you all to drop a heart if you know what fills your cup, and this is an exercise to get the juices flowing. What actually fills your cup? Because so often as mamas, we get so spread out, so thin, so spread thin that we forget to take care of ourselves. Is it just a massage and you need to go get a massage, but then you might say, you know what, Shan, I can't even get somebody to watch the kids so I can go get a massage. Okay, well, ask yourself, who can help me? What are my options? What can I do? It's so easy to say, what can't I do? The question to ask is, what can I do in this moment? What moment can I take? Is it a single breath? Create space so you can take a single breath. You would be so surprised what a single breath can do. So Joy, back to your question. You are right on path, mama. You are doing amazing. Keep getting out there. I met my husband on a dating app. And so I love the dating app. Him and I met on an app called Hinge. And before we met, I was going on a lot of different dates. I was dating quite a few different people. Why? Because you don't know unless you get out there. And putting yourself out there is essential. Joy, you've got so much courage. Keep filling your relationship cup, because there's a lot of different cups in life, mamas. Let me slow down here. I'm so passionate about this stuff. Okay, so you have a relationship cup. You have a health cup. You have a family cup. You have a God cup. You have your creativity / fulfillment cup, the thing that God's given you inside your heart, your purpose cup. So you got all these things.
Can you repeat that? I'm writing it down.
You have all these cups, okay? So you got
Relationship.
Yep, you got relationships. You got your health. Okay. You got your creative expression cup. That means, like, what do you enjoy doing as a passion? Like like I said, the painting, or is it running? Is it hiking? Is it writing? Is it drawing? Like, tap into your inner kid, because sometimes as we get to be adults, we lose connectivity to that because of society. But mamas, like, think about what lit you up when you were kids. Like, what made you so excited as a kid that you were just like, oh my gosh, I love to do this? For me, it was like walking in the wilderness by myself and then like building forts. I was like such a tomboy. And I kind of still am. But those kinds of activities really light me up, just like time in a forest or a big rainforest or nature. But for you, you know what that is, because all you have to do is go back to when you were a kid. And as we've evolved, you probably have different things that you're into now. Well, write those things down. And sometimes when we disconnect from those things, we feel like we've lost ourselves. But I'm here to remind you, you never lose yourself. It's just a return back to what already is. They say, people ask, how were you able to get in such phenomenal shape after having a kid? And I'm like, how did you bounce back so fast? I'm like, there was no bouncing back. What it is it's an ascension forward. We're always progressing. The person you were yesterday, mamas, isn't the person you are now. And the person that you were 10 minutes ago on this call, hopefully through this call, you're not even the same person that was when you joined this call. We're now fortifying a new person. Today is a new day. So with that being said, we've got the relationship cup, we've got the health cup, we've got the creative expression cup, we've got our friends cup / family. Now, relationship, I mean like personal relationships, like personal life, like partner or a spouse, or what that looks like. And then we've got friends and family. Those are really important relationships. And then we've got our spiritual cup. So, and the creative cup can also be what you work. So your work, like what you do for work, can be a creative expression. So you also have another cup that might be work. If what you do, what you creatively express is like a passion project, and what you do for work is separate, meaning like you go to a 9-to-5 job, that's a separate cup, because that also needs to be tended to. Otherwise we lose our jobs, and if we lose our jobs, well, congratulations, that's what happened to me. And I started my own company that I sold last year, and I'm actually much better off. I'm glad that they let me go. And so if you all are interested in starting your own business, I'm super passionate about that. So just shoot me a message and I can help you through turning your passions into profit. It's just something I'm super passionate about helping people with. So just let me know. Send me a message on here. But our work cup is actually a cup that we should tend to. So with all of these cups in health, when you have your health cup, does that make sense, Joy? Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have these cups. And so like taking an example for a health cup, that would be like your sleep quality. That would be like your food /fuel. Like what are you eating? Like what are you drinking? Like are you giving yourself proper energy? That's all part of your health cup. So what else is in our health cup? Okay, so we have our sleep, we have recovery, we have the food that we're eating, hydration. Well, how much water should I be drinking, Shan? Well, half of your body weight in ounces of water. If you're around the world, I don't know what that translates to with other metrics, but half of your ounces of your body weight, like let's say you weigh 150 pounds, that's 75 ounces of water a day minimally that we need to be drinking just to function and think clearly. Oftentimes people have brain fog and they don't know what that is. Brain fog could actually just be dehydration because it takes intention to drink half of your body weight in ounces. It's not like a ton of water, but you're definitely drinking throughout the day. So that goes like into your health cup. So you want to make sure you're taking care of that. Another thing that goes into your health cup, your movement / strength. How are you moving your body? Is it yoga? Is it Pilates? Is it walking? We're energetic beings. We need to walk. Like that helps. And so if you're feeling disconnected in one of these areas, it's going to literally derail you and you're going to think that you're losing yourself, but you're not losing yourself. One of these cups has been deprived. One of these cups is not full anymore. Even your spiritual cup. Do you all pray to God? I pray to God. I pray to Jesus Christ. I love him. I read my Bible. I read spiritual texts from ancient times because that's wisdom. That's truth that I believe is still living today. Like laws, like sowing and reaping and being kind and all of these things, right? But if we don't connect to our spiritual cup through prayer, right? Through gratitude, what is prayer? Prayer is like gratitude, thanking God for the things that he's given us. So if we're disconnected, we're not praying, we're not reading, we're not studying, we're not meditating, then you're going to feel an effect from that. So do you see how we have all of these cups in life and our relationship cup, our personal health? What happens if you ignore your relationship cup? You lose your marriage, you lose your partner. What happens if you don't handle your relationship cup from a place of empathy, grace, and space? Well, that other person doesn't feel seen. They start wanting to go see other people. They're not fully seen or heard. There's a book called the Five Love Languages, and it's important to know, what does your partner actually, how do they receive love? Is it physical touch? Is it quality time? Is it words of affirmation? Is it acts of service? All of these things really matter. So that's like a relationship cup. Are you doing date nights? Are you what does that actually look like? And then you've got your creative expression cup. And that's what I was talking about with what are you doing, mamas, to fill your cup? Because this is the cup that oftentimes gets neglected. We forget as mamas, there's so much on our plate. We forget what actually gives us energy. I'll tell you all, thank you for being here today. You all give me energy. My voice and being able to share this in a creative way for you guys, it makes me excited because you're here. So thanks for being here. I don't take your time lightly. I know your time is valuable. I know all time is valuable. Time is more valuable than money. Time is the most precious thing that we have. You can get back money. You can get back all these other things. What you can't get back is time. So with that being said, time is our most valuable resource. And so thank you for your listening and spending your time with me here today. So what fills your cup? Do those things this weekend. Is it 5 minutes? And one thing you can do to fill your cup, and I have this on let'saddressthestress.com, is a simple, free 2-minute breath reset. That is the easiest free way to reset, to recalibrate, to connect to yourself. If you're ever feeling derailed, just breathe. Not just breathe, I mean like breathe. Return to that breath. We're being breathed thousands of times a day. How many of y'all go through a whole day and don't even notice your breath? It's happening 1,000 times a day. Is that crazy? 1,000 times a day we're breathing and we don't even take a single breath to actually consciously breathe. Well, on let'saddressthestress.com, I have that reset, or you guys can go to my YouTube, Shannon Lynn, Lynn Evans, Evans, and I post this kind of content daily for you guys so that you can listen to me beyond just the Let's Address the Stress in Peanut. That's on YouTube. And if you need the links, just send me a message. But we have those creativity cups that we need to fill. Not that we need to, that we get to fill. And it takes intention. This exercise that I have for you guys with the cups, great question, Joy, is really useful, because if we don't think about these things, we just go through life, go through the motions. And what happens when we go through the motions? We get motionless. We feel dead. We feel numb. We feel apathy towards life. And that's not what God has in store for us. He's created us to live a life, and life abundantly. Not just enough, abundantly. So when we tap into that creativity or that spirit, that is inspiration in spirit, what inspires you, that actually fills your cup. Then you got family and friends, spending time with them, but also drawing boundaries around these areas too, because if you get out of whack with any of these things, then you can become unbalanced. And what we're trying to do here is just create a harmony. We're creating balance. So whenever you find yourself out of whack with any of these, just return. Ask yourself, how can I fill my health cup? How can I return to my health? How can I start new? Is it just a walk around the block when I was suffering from depression, 30 pounds overweight, ordering DoorDash in my dark room? I, number one, realized that I was telling myself I was depressed, and then I was feeling depressed. The second I stopped telling myself I was depressed, it lifted and the clouds cleared. Because when we tell ourselves that we're sick, or we tell ourselves we're tired, now our body actually takes that on and believes it at face value. So what I did was I told myself, I'm okay. I'm okay. And you know what else I did, mamas? I got up, I got out of my dark room, fat and out of shape, and I took a walk around the block. I got some sunshine. And it wasn't like a long walk. It was like a 10-minute walk. And from then, that's what I was talking about, honey, with momentum, is that when we get momentum in these areas, we just keep going. And I just kept going. Walking literally saved my life. When I got done with my C-section, I ordered a treadmill for my basement. And when I got done with my C-section, I would just walk 3 minutes a day. But so many times we feel like we got to kill ourselves, or oftentimes we're training at the gym from a place of pissed off at ourselves, we're angry at ourselves, so we're going to punish ourselves in the gym for the things we ate, the things we didn't do. But what I encourage you to do is just start small. And with that small daily compounded activity in any area of your life, if you want to start your business, start small. What's one thing you can do towards your new business today? If you want a different health situation, okay, what's one thing you can do with the health situation? I told you I met my partner on an online dating app. I gave myself 20 minutes a day to just swipe and interact with people. With friendships, I tell myself I'm going to go on one thought for a walk, walk around the park with a friend once a week. And so I schedule a walk around the park once a week. I'm not doing walks in the park every single day with all my friends, because like we talked about, then you get out of balance. But when you return to that balance, you realize how easy it is to live a fulfilled life. From the spiritual standpoint, I read a scripture a day. I pray and I thank God for the day. And guess what my prayer was this morning? I just told God, thank you. Thank you. And it wasn't like, God, thank you for the day, and I pray for all this stuff. Sometimes it's the simplest, thank you. When my feet hit the ground, thank you. He gave us another opportunity. So maybe it's a scripture today. Maybe it's a thank you today. Or maybe with gratitude, it's just calling one friend or family member to tell them how much you love them, or sending them a text. Done, right? And so does that make sense, guys? Drop a heart if this makes sense today. I know I'm kind of explaining things from a really in-depth level. You all are with me here. This is next level life coaching in a way, that this is stuff that takes intention, and it's stuff that takes attention, right? But that's what life takes. It's easy to live a life on autopilot. It's easy to live a life where you just don't care. It's easy to have the F it effect, where you know what, you're so out of shape and you feel like you're so far gone, you say, F it, I'm just going to eat that tub of ice cream because hell, why not? I'm already so far behind. What's another pint of ice cream going to do? That was me, mamas. That was me. I was addicted to sugar, and it was a really gnarly place. And I'm proud to say, 13 years later, I'm sober from all processed refined sugars. I gave it up cold turkey, and my life has never been the same. And so if I can do this, you can do this. And I'm not saying cut the things you enjoy completely. I'm saying I'm encouraging you to ask yourself, is this thing serving me? What is the ROI? We talked about earlier on in this message, return on investment. What is the return on investment in this thing that I'm eating, in this thing that I'm doing, in this relationship that I'm pouring into, in this conversation I'm having? Like what is my return on investment? And I hope today I've given you guys your return on investment for listening to me and paying attention to me. And I encourage you this weekend to take these exercises seriously. Ask yourself these deeper questions. They say the quality of our life is largely influenced by the quality of our thoughts. Well, a quality life takes intentional thinking and an intentional living, because autopilot is the easy way. Victimhood, being a victim and instead of a victor, that is easy. It takes attention and intention to live what I call the good life. And so if y'all are here, I know that that's all possible for you, because you wouldn't be listening to me if it's not something that you wanted. Does that make sense? Did any of that resonate, especially with any of y'all? All right. This is all for you guys. I get on here and I pour my heart out, because these things really matter. And when you get a grip on this, your life will never be the same again. Your life will literally never be the same again. And in a whole world where people don't feel seen and heard, know that I see you and know that I hear you. If you guys ever need anything at all, let's address the stress.com. Just hit submit a stress request and I will address that. You can be anonymous and we can address it. Put on there, I do go live on YouTube Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. But if you want me to address your stress personally, just say, hey, I want that. Please keep this personal, and I'll reach out to you and see what we can do to tackle it. Not like remove it, because I realize that circumstances happen. It's about looking at what the current brutal facts of our current reality are, and then moving forward in a proactive way from a place of presence, not reactivity. Because if we're reacting to the stressors of life, then we're not actually present. And when we're not present, that's when mistakes happen, that's when accidents happen, that's when we say things we don't actually mean and we're having to go back and apologize. But there's a different way of living, mamas. There's a different way of living. And I just want to congratulate you all for showing up today. Past is done. The future hasn't come. All we have is this present moment here and now. And so as we close out this session, and I will be back on Monday. I don't know what time. I get on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays every single week. I have been doing it since March, and I plan to continue doing it until they kick me off of this app. And I'll continue to be here for y'all. So with that being said, I want to close out this session. Does anyone else have anything to say, or any stress that they want to address? I want to give everybody the opportunity to speak if they have something else that they want to talk about. All right. The power is in your hands. The power is in your control, and God's got you. You're never alone. He is also our strength. So ask him. If you're lacking clarity and you want to know if you should keep dating that person, ask God about it. He'll tell you. If you don't know what your next step is, ask God. He'll tell you. You are divinely led, mamas. You're right on path, right on purpose, right on path. He woke you up on purpose, for a purpose. Tap into that today. So proud of y'all for showing up. And as we close out this message today, I encourage you to be where you are as you are. Maybe you're walking, maybe you're driving, maybe you're getting the kids ready for dinner, maybe it's morning wherever you are across the world. Just allow yourself to be in this moment as you are where you are. And as you settle into this present moment, I encourage you to just take a deep breath. This is a belly breath, which is a breath from your diaphragm. And what I like to picture is a big red heart balloon on my diaphragm. And with the in-breath, that balloon blows up. And with the out-breath, that balloon goes down. And so on the count of 3, we'll breathe in. And on the count of 3, we'll breathe out. I invite you to. You do not have to do this with us. It's just a natural regulator and a superpower that we all have within us. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Hold, 2, 3, release. That balloon goes down. Another deep breath in. Hold, 2, 3, release. 2, 3. And just like that, Just like that, you can return to the present moment at any time. This is before you enter a conversation, before you answer that phone call, before you go to bed, the moment you wake up. Our breath is happening all day long, and it's a return to that allows us to return to that power of that presence. And so with that being said, thank you all for being here. Way to show up today. I encourage you to do those exercises, and I look forward to hearing about your continuation journey and the return to what is. There's nothing to fix, mamas. There's nothing to find. You're perfect just the way you are. It's about realizing that, stepping into that, and reclaiming that peace that's already within you. Until next time, much love. Take care. Be well. And bye for now.